Okay, so you sent us this article,
Yeah.
and we're going to dive into it. That's what we do best, you know?
Pull out
Yeah, pull out the good stuff.
the insights.
Help you become super well-informed quickly.
Yeah, you don't want to wade through all the details.
Well,
the jargon.
no.
Just the good stuff.
And what a topic we have today.
Oh, yeah, this is a good one.
This
I'm
is...
excited to see this come through.
Me too, the Kawasaki Carleo.
Yes. Very interesting concept.
Really is, and it's like this new idea for personal mobility.
Yeah.
So, you know...
It's a vehicle.
Four-legged
Four-legged
robotic vehicle designed for a rider, a human rider.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just wild.
Wild.
And it doesn't roll, it walks.
It walks.
Which is mind-blowing. And
Yeah.
so this is like Kawasaki
Combining.
blending all their knowledge of motorcycles with this cutting-edge robotics.
All powered by sustainable energy.
Exactly.
So very forward-looking.
And you know, our listeners, they're curious about what's new and what's next.
Absolutely. What's coming.
What's on the horizon.
But time is precious these days.
You bet.
So that's why we do these deep dives.
That's it. We give that deep dive.
Yeah, give you a deep dive.
Without you having to do all the work.
So our mission, if we choose to accept it,
which we do,
is to really explore, you know, the design, the tech behind it,
the technology,
what it could be used for in the real world.
Its real world applications.
And like the overall significance of this thing.
And just the overall significance of it, right?
And it's all based on this article you sent us.
Yeah.
By KR and Radery.
April 7th, 2025.
That's right. April 7th, 2025. Very recent.
Very recent.
And, you know, one thing the article points out is that there aren't like official specs yet.
Yeah.
Because this is just a prototype still.
It's still under development.
So we're going to talk about features.
Yes.
But they could change.
Right.
Things could be different down the road.
Always.
So keep an eye on Kawasaki's official announcements for updates. Exactly.
KR and Adri gives that little warning right at the beginning.
He does.
To stay tuned.
But even at this stage,
Yeah.
I mean, just the idea of this Carleo.
It's captivating.
It is captivating.
It captures the imagination.
And the article really does paint a picture.
Vividly.
A vivid picture.
I felt like I was there.
It's like straight out of sci-fi.
Yeah, 4 legs.
4 legs instead of wheels.
Robotic legs.
And it literally walks.
It walks instead of rolling.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and that design, they describe it as...
I love this.
Futuristic curves.
Futuristic curves.
With a mechanical exoskeleton.
I mean, come on.
That's straight out of science fiction.
That's awesome.
It sounds cool.
And the way they describe the leg movement, too.
Yes. High precision.
High precision.
Driven by advanced actuators.
Resulting in smooth, animal-like steps.
And that's really striking.
It is.
You know, because it's not just about looks. It's about function, too.
Functionality.
Yeah.
This thing can go over so many different types of surfaces. Loose gravel.
Loose gravel.
Soft grass.
Soft grass.
And it can tackle stairs.
Stairs, too.
Stairs.
So, like...
It's that biomimicry.
Biomimicry.
Yeah, drawing inspiration from nature.
Which makes sense.
Right.
Why reinvent the wheel when nature's already done it?
Millions of years of evolution.
No.
Yeah, you've got millions of years of optimization for stability and efficiency.
It's pretty man.
And in all kinds of terrain.
And think about like a cat.
Exactly.
When it almost falls, how it like recovers.
Dynamic stability.
That's got to be what they're going for, right?
Exactly.
It's so cool.
Now imagine the rider too.
Yeah.
Leaning forward.
Like you're on some super high-tech
dirt bike,
but with legs.
But with legs instead of wheels.
No handlebars.
Right.
Just these amazing robotic legs underneath you.
Yeah, all those visual touches.
Yeah.
The LED lights.
Oh, I love the LEDs.
Wrapped around the frame.
It gives it such a modern look, almost aggressive.
Aggressive.
It's like Kawasaki saying, hey, look at this.
It's a head turner.
It is, undoubtedly.
So how's this thing powered?
Right. That's the other fascinating part.
Because it got to be pretty complex, right?
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
It's got this 150cc hydrogen engine.
Okay.
But here's the key.
What's the key?
It doesn't actually directly drive the walking motion.
Oh.
So it's not like an engine in a car.
Interesting.
Instead, it's like a generator.
Okay.
It produces electricity
to
power those robotic limbs.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's the clean energy aspect.
So no gas.
No gasoline.
No emissions.
No direct emissions.
That's awesome.
It's a big shift.
It is.
Away from traditional combustion engines.
So why hydrogen?
That's a good question.
Why not just a big battery?
Right.
Is it a range thing?
I think it's likely about balance.
Okay.
You know, balance of range. Because you need a certain amount of range.
You do.
If you're out and about exploring. And it's probably about refueling, too.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Because refueling hydrogen is much quicker
than recharging a battery.
than recharging a large battery.
Okay, that makes sense.
Especially for a vehicle that needs to move
Yeah.
in such a dynamic and precise way.
Okay. So it's
like a compact power station.
a compact mobile power station.
Right there in the vehicle.
That's also the legs.
Towering those electric motors.
Oh, that's so clever.
And then you have the control system.
Yeah, how do you even control a thing like this?
Right. It's not like you're using a joystick or anything like that.
No. I mean, this thing's going to have so many moving parts.
Right. And the article mentions
It's just going to say that
sensors
everywhere.
covering every corner,
Wow.
constantly monitoring.
Everything.
Yeah, balance the terrain.
The type of terrain.
And even your body position.
So it knows if you're leaning forward or back.
Exactly.
Wow.
And that's how they achieve that real-time responsiveness.
That's amazing.
They want this thing to react instantly.
Right, because if you're walking on 4 legs,
exactly.
sure to know what's happening.
You need that feedback.
Immediately.
And the steering is even more fascinating.
Okay, how do you steer?
You use your own body weight.
Really?
Yeah.
So no handlebars?
No handlebars.
Steering wheel.
Lean forward to go, back to stop.
And side to turn.
And side to side.
That sounds so intuitive.
It's like it's an extension of your body.
It really does.
No traditional controls.
That's crazy.
Which is a radical departure from anything we've seen before.
And it has AI?
It does.
AI-based controls.
It learns your riding style.
So the more you use it, the better it anticipates?
Yeah, your intentions.
Wow.
We're seeing this type of personalization everywhere now.
We are.
But applying it to a vehicle that physically moves like this,
yeah,
it's groundbreaking.
It is.
And then there's the potential for over-the-air updates.
Over-the-air updates.
So it can constantly improve.
With my phone.
Like your phone.
So this thing is getting smarter.
Potentially adding new features.
Wow, that's just wild.
It's not a static machine.
It's evolving.
It's evolving.
That's crazy.
So let's recap.
Okay.
What makes the Carleo stand outer?
The key features.
The key features.
Okay.
First, you've got the 4 legs.
The 4-legged robotic locomotion.
That gives it the ability to go anywhere.
Pretty much anywhere.
Over all kinds of terrain. Steers uneven surfaces.
It's pretty incredible.
Then there's that hydrogen-powered generator.
Supply energy to the
electric actuators.
Okay.
And the smart terrain detection.
Smart terrain detection.
Using all those sensors.
So it doesn't fall over.
Keeps it balanced.
Keeps it balanced.
With good traction.
And of course, the AI learning system.
Which is constantly personalizing your experience.
Yeah, so it's learning you as you're learning it.
Exactly.
I do want to touch on these actuators for a second.
Okay.
Because when you just say advanced actuators...
Right, it doesn't really paint a picture.
It doesn't really tell you what they are.
It's a bit vague.
They're basically these sophisticated motors and joints.
Yeah, in each leg.
That allow for all these crazy movements.
Yeah, precise movements.
Think of them as the muscles and tendons of the robot.
Exactly.
Allowing for that smooth animal-like gait.
Which is really quite remarkable.
It is.
And from a design standpoint, you've got those very modern LED light strips.
I love the LEDs.
And the integrated display.
Giving you all the
built on a lightweight frame.
Which is really important for balance and control.
Exactly.
So the article gets into what it's like to ride one of these things.
Yeah, what's the actual experience like?
Right.
And
that sounds...
It's less like driving.
Less like driving.
And more like piloting a robot.
Yeah, the article says a robotic experience.
Exactly.
So how do you even get on this thing?
It's an interesting process.
Okay.
You step onto a platform.
Okay.
You assume an upright posture.
So you're standing.
You're standing.
Wow.
And your body orientation is really important.
Okay.
Because the robot uses your weight distribution.
Okay. So it knows where your weight is.
As a primary input for how it moves.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it's all about balance.
Okay.
And then the steering.
Yeah.
It's entirely based on your balance.
Oh, wow.
And how you lean
forward
to initiate movement.
Okay.
Lean further forward to go faster.
Okay.
Lean back to slow down or stop.
Okay.
And lean to the sides to turn.
That's wild.
It's a completely different way
than anything
we're used to.
Interacting with a vehicle.
Yeah.
And speed adjustment.
It's just how far forward you lean.
So the more you lean forward, the faster it goes.
Exactly.
Wow, that sounds so intuitive.
Almost like learning to ride a bike.
But with 4 points of contact on the ground.
Right.
I like that.
And the onboard console is intentionally simple.
So it's not overwhelming.
No, just essential information.
Like
power levels.
Okay.
Hydrogen fuel status.
How much fuel you have left.
And any system updates?
No distractions.
Just what you need.
Just the essentials.
And there's the obstacle navigation.
Yeah, what happens when you encounter an obstacle?
Right, because this thing's walking.
Yeah, it can't just drive over things.
The article says
Okay.
the robot sees obstacles and walks over them with precision.
So it actually steps over things.
It does.
That's so cool.
Imagine that freedom,
I know.
not having to steer around every little bump
Every little crack in the sidewalk.
or curb.
It's amazing.
And for safety, of course,
Safety's important.
it has an auto balance system.
Which you would need
Absolutely.
with something that's walking.
To prevent it from tipping over.
And an emergency shutdown.
Of course.
Just in case.
Which is always a good idea.
Always a good idea.
So it's great in theory,
Yeah.
but what's it actually like to use this thing?
In the real world.
In the real world, right?
Right.
And the article really emphasizes it's not about speed. It's not about being the fastest.
Okay.
It's about control,
Okay.
precision,
Precision.
and adaptability.
So being able to go places
Exactly.
where other vehicles can't.
And precisely.
Okay.
So think about rough terrain,
Right.
gravel paths,
Gravel paths.
sandy areas,
Sandy areas.
muddy trails,
Mushy trails.
things that would stop a regular vehicle.
Right.
The Carleo,
Yeah.
it can adjust each of its legs independently,
Really?
and it can do it incredibly quickly.
Wow.
Milliseconds.
So it's constantly adjusting
Constantly adjusting
to maintain balance.
to prevent slippage.
And it can handle stairs.
Yeah.
Even steep inclines.
Without the rider having to dismount.
You don't even have to get off.
Nope.
That's amazing.
That's something else.
No other vehicle can do that.
It's a significant advancement.
And you know what else is cool?
What's that?
The suspension system.
Yes.
They've got these smart feedback loops.
Yeah.
Which basically means...
Essentially sensors in each leg,
Right.
monitoring the terrain
Okay.
and the movement,
Knows exactly what's happening.
and it adjusts the suspension
Instantly.
in real time,
Wow, that's like...
like a high-end car,
Yeah.
but on each individual leg.
Okay, so it's not just like one big suspension system.
Very.
It's like 4 little ones
Exactly.
working together.
Working in concert.
That's crazy.
It's very clever.
So how fast does this thing go?
It's not about speed, remember,
Control, precision, adaptability.
but it could reach about 10 to 12 kilometers per hour.
So not super fast,
Not a speed demon.
but the applications,
The applications are diverse.
the potential uses.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
really exciting.
So the article outlines a few urban exploration.
Urban exploration.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Navigating parks.
Park sidewalks.
Crowded areas.
Crowded areas.
No problem.
Uneven surfaces. No problem.
Yeah.
Then you've got factories,
Factories.
warehouses,
Warehouses.
tight spaces,
Tight spaces.
stairs ramps.
It can handle it all.
No problem.
And outdoors.
Oh, yeah.
Mountain trails.
Mountain trails.
Nature paths.
Nature paths.
Places where bikes would struggle.
Places where bikes would struggle.
This thing just walks right up.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
And then there's the potential for security
Oh, yeah.
and patrol.
That's an interesting one.
It's nearly silent.
Silent.
It can go over uneven ground.
Can even go into buildings.
Potentially, yeah.
That's really useful.
Very effective.
And of course,
You could use this thing for demonstrations.
at shows,
Tech shows.
promotional events,
It would be quite a spectacle.
it would be.
The article says performance art.
Performance art in motion.
I like that.
So many possibilities.
So many potential uses.
It's really quite versatile.
So practically speaking,
Right.
how long does it run on a tank of hydrogen?
Good question.
Yeah,
The article says 2 to 3 hours
2 to 3 hours.
of active movement.
So depending on what you're doing, depending on the terrain.
The conditions.
Exactly.
That's a pretty decent amount of time.
It seems reasonable. And
It's
refueling,
quick.
how quick?
Just a few minutes.
Wow, that's faster than charging an electric car.
Much faster.
That's a big plus.
It is.
And maintenance?
Seems straightforward.
No tires to worry about?
No tires.
No oil changes?
No oil changes.
No chain to lube?
No chain to lube.
But you probably have to check those legs.
I would imagine so.
Make sure everything's working properly.
Regular inspections.
Right.
But overall, much simpler.
And a traditional vehicle.
Exactly.
I really like how the article emphasizes
Yeah.
that this Carleo,
It's about freedom.
it's about freedom.
New ways to explore.
New ways to
New ways to experience the world.
It's not just about getting from point A to point B.
It's about the journey
It's about the journey.
and the experience.
Exactly.
So what are the biggest takeaways here?
Yeah, what are the core innovations that the Carleo brings to the table? Well, the biggest one is obviously
The legs,
the
the
quadrupedal design,
quadrupedal design,
which allows for that exceptional ability
to go over any terrain
pretty much, and with stability.
with stability.
Then you have the hydrogen engine,
The clean and efficient
and the advanced control systems,
allowing for that intuitive
body-based steering, which really sets it apart.
or anything else out there.
And the potential applications are so exciting.
They are.
Off-road exploration,
Yes.
enhanced urban mobility,
Absolutely.
and even emergency response.
Where that maneuverability would be invaluable.
So,
Like,
Kawasaki Carleo,
it's not just a futuristic toy.
no,
It's not a fleeting concept.
it's something bigger.
It's a potential for an entirely new category.
Personal transportation.
A personal transportation.
It's really combining robotics,
sustainable energy.
sustainable energy,
Intuitive design.
and putting the rider at the center of it all. It's a remarkable fusion of technologies.
It really does feel like
We're on the cusp of something big
we are.
in terms of how we think about
Personal mobility.
personal mobility.
Yeah, and the Carleo
Even at this early stage,
gives us a glimpse.
into the future,
And it challenges
everything we know
our preconceived notion.
about what a personal vehicle can be.
Yeah.
And it aligns with the need
The growing need
for sustainable solutions
Sustainable.
and versatile ways
to get around.
to get around.
So to wrap up
Yes.
our deep dive into the Kawasaki Carleo,
Based on the article you sent us,
it's a truly innovative concept
that merges robotics with hydrogen power,
to create something completely unique.
a unique form of personal mobility,
It's a four-legged design.
adaptable to a wide range of terrains.
And the controls.
They're intuitive,
Intuitive.
body-based,
Body-based.
promising a really engaging
responsive.
riding experience.
Riding it.
So
We hope
has given you
a clear understanding
the clear and engaging understanding,
of the Carleo's potential.
even though we don't have all the details yet.
The technical specifications are still under wraps.
But now,
Yes.
just to leave you with something to think about,
A thought to ponder.
how might a vehicle like this
With these unique capabilities.
reshape the way we interact
With our world.
with our cities,
Our cities.
our natural environments?
Our natural environments.
If it becomes commonplace,
If it becomes widespread.
could we see changes in urban planning?
Interesting question.
Right.
To accommodate this new type of mobility.
Exactly.
Would we see
Would we see places become more accessible,
that are currently inaccessible?
like natural environment?
Exactly.
That's a really cool thought.
And what about
Yeah.
completely unforeseen applications?
May.
Things we haven't even thought of yet.
We can't even imagine.
We can't even imagine.
What could emerge from this type of...
Robotic personal transport.
It's definitely something to consider. It's food for thought.
food for thought.
It's a fascinating prospect
It is.
to contemplate.
Thanks for diving deep with us.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Until next time,
Until next time.
keep those articles coming.
Yeah, send us your articles.
We love to dive deep
We do.
into the topics that interest you.
That's right.
So keep them coming.
And we'll see you on the next deep dive.
See you then.
Bye.